Hello, thank you for joining me today. Today we are doing tuck spot and cheese for the Defember prompt. Today it is the 16th of December. So I have this new embossing folder. I got quite a few new from the thrift store. I found them there. So I decided this one looked like cheese to me. So I'm going to use it to create a tuck spot and also a journaling card to go in the tuck spot. So here I am just going to emboss it with my Big Shot. And I'm going to roll it through here. And then I roll through the journaling card as well. Now I do roll through both pieces because I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing yet. I just knew I wanted to use this color in this embossing folder for the tuck spot. I went with a triangular tuck spot as well. So then here I am just running through the front of the journal card. I do wind up tearing that in half, so it's just the one piece and not both. This was a fun challenge. I could have went anyway. I tried not to look on anyone on Instagram or YouTube because I kind of had in mind what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to see what anyone else was doing and then think, uh-oh, what I'm doing is way off. So I decided then I was going to take my hole punch, just a regular standard hole punch, and punch holes in my tuck spots to make them look a little bit more like cheese. I was actually kind of impressed with how it turned out, and I chose to put it on a music page in my journal. My journal has elastic binding, so my pages can go in and out, so I really have enjoyed that for this year's Defember. So I decided to do a top tuck and a bottom tuck on this one page. So I had sponged some rusty hinge on the edges, and then here I was just playing with tea dye just to kind of see if it gave it a little bit of dimension. I don't think it did a whole lot, but anyway, I was just playing around. So I went onto Pinterest and looked for free domain images that I could print off with no copyright issues. So I found this little guy and I printed him off and I cut him out, and then I decided I would actually fussy cut him out. So you'll see me do that in a couple minutes. I'm trying to figure out how I want to put him on the journaling card. I kept this challenge kind of on the simple side. I also pulled in some cheesecloth. You can see in the top right left corner, pardon me. I do love how that little mouse popped on the black, but I did not wind up using it in the end. So I went around him. I started with rusty hinge, and then I was like, what am I doing? So I went back to vintage photo, and I inked around the edges of my little mouse and his piece of cheese. So here I am thinking, okay, he needs something to stand on. So I pull out some of my faux vintage tape, and then I'm going to play around here a little bit with my cheesecloth, trying to figure out how I want to place him on the journaling card. I then decide I'm going to put some rusty hinge on the front of the journaling card to make the dots, the circles kind of stand out a little bit better. And I just did the ink pad straight to paper on this. So here you see I rip off the back piece. It was just a little too thick, in my opinion, to go into the journaling, to go into the tuck spot. So then I decide I am going to punch holes in the journaling card as well. So I am really winging it here. I'm not 100% how it's going to turn out. I know I want to use the cheesecloth. I knew I wanted holes in the journaling card as well to go with the tuck spot. And then I decide to back it with the other piece of the yellow there. You'll see in a minute. So here I'm cutting it in half, the cheesecloth. I think that little guy's so cute. So this is when I think I kind of decide, okay, I'm going to put the yellow in behind, and then I'm going to place that other piece of the cheesecloth that I have in between the two pieces like a sandwich, and then kind of pull it through the holes that I created in the journaling card. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. So here I go. So this is what I wind up doing, and I was really pleased with how it turned out. So here I take my pokey tool and I just think, okay, well, I can pull the cheesecloth through to give it a bit of texture and dimension. And that's where I went. I poked through a few more holes here just to get a little bit more of that cheesecloth through. This challenge or this prompt is hosted by Louise Heinzel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. So and the hashtag is Defemember. So if you search that, you will find many videos. It's been really cool. It kind of gets you to think out of the box. So I decide I'm just going to go with my tuck spots the way they are. I do a top tuck and a bottom tuck. Because this journal will be an idea journal for me as well after the fact. So now I'm going to assemble my journal card. So I decided I put glue on the back side, and then I fiddle around a little bit to get the cheesecloth through the front of the journaling card the way I want it to be. And then I glued it down. I was really happy with how this turned out. I wonder what other people are going to do for the prompt of cheese and tuck spot. And then this little mouse is just going to live there on top of some of that tape so he's not floating. And I do put down the cheesecloth there in behind him as well. My kind of little story is that he crawled into this wheel of cheese and he's on the inside of the cheese and he's eating it. That's why you see some of the cheesecloth poking through. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the little story I have with this little guy. In hindsight, I should have just used the art glitter glue to begin with. So now here's where I realize I can't get it to tuck into both the top and the bottom because I made my journaling card a little too big, but that's okay. I chose a sentiment. It's all perspective because I figure this prompt will be just that for everyone who's creating. It'll be their perspective of what the prompt should be. I'm really happy with how mine turned out, and thanks for joining me today and watching.